like to congratulate all of you for getting out of the chaos that is out there and making it into this session. Hope you're enjoying yourselves here at Summit. The session that I'll be doing today is called Understanding Profitability in the Affiliate Space. And I really love this industry. It's just amazing to me how much people are willing to share with others and share in the success and share in profitability. I was thinking about a conference about 12, 13 years ago. Makes me sound old, but one of the first CJ conferences, I had an affiliate come up to me and shake my hand, and he said, I just want to thank you for sending my kid through college. And you know, it was a good feeling for me to know that I had been helping him earn some serious money. And I remember the checks were about 30 grand a month, and it was back in the good old days. Some of us remember those days when the money seemed to flow much more easily. But this is a great space. People are really willing to help others and share in their success and be happy for their success. I'll give a quick introduction. My name is Paul Schroader. I'm president and founder of PS Web Solutions. We're an interactive agency based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. I've been doing online or internet advertising since 1995 and affiliate specific since 1999. Some of the larger clients that I've worked with are Oric, the vacuum cleaning company, Tabasco, the Blue Man Group, Temptations, and among others. And learned a lot in doing this. And again, one of the things that we really focus on with our clients is how to make your program as profitable as possible and really understanding the numbers behind the program. Now, back in the day, people, when they had a new widget that they wanted to take to market, they had an approach that they would develop a team, and they would have that team go out to different regions of the country and approach retailers and say, you know what, we have a great new widget. It's better than all the other widgets out there. Please put it on your shelves. We want you to sell for us. And they would wholesale it to them, give them prices. Their margins were 40 to 50%, and then that retailer would sell for them. The retailer would end up owning the customer, the whole customer experience. They handled customer service, and the merchant would just be happy to be able to make sales, and they would consider that profitable. Now it's a little bit different situation. We have people coming to us and saying, you know what, I don't want to even deal with retailers. I want to build just completely online. And so they say, I hear about affiliate marketing. I think it's magic. And you put out a few banners and you say, hey, join our affiliate program. Look at all these smiley people. Look at all this money you can make. And you know what? It's easy money. You do that, you build a program, people are going to sell for you, and you don't have to worry about the old way of doing things. Now, those of us who've been doing this for a while realize that this isn't the case. It takes a lot of work to build a program and to build it right. It's not to say that it can't be easy money. It's not really easy money. Nothing's easy. You have to put the work behind it. But if you build a program and really understand what your costs are behind that program, you understand every level of the what's coming in and what's going out for that program, you can build something that's extremely profitable. You own the customer, and it can be a wonderful thing. But you do really need to understand the ins and outs of the program. For our clients, we've built reports that really look at not only the sales coming in and average order value and some other key metrics, but we break down the costs into everything conceivable that will be something coming out of that program. And so we look at not only the commissions that are paid out, and those commissions can be dynamic. They're not always going to be the same. If you've got a mature program, you're going to want to give some affiliates a higher commission. You also have network fees. You have management fees, and that management fee can be the salary of the in-house employee if it's an in-house run program, or it can be run by a third party, or even some of the networks have management solutions as well. Then the coupons and discounts, you have to consider that as a cost for that channel as well. And then there are some vendor costs that you have to consider, competitive intelligence tools and different vendor costs to look at as well. Looking at all of that gives you a chance to break down the return on ad spend. And there's also something here that we've developed that's called the channel payout percentage. So when you look at that and you say, in that old paradigm, you were paying out 45, 50% to have somebody else sell for you, own the customer experience, be able to remarket to them, and you're paying that much more money. So looking at it like this, you're seeing the value of a much lower margin that you're paying out, and you own the customer experience. Now, one of the things that we see that a lot of people overlook are some of these other costs of the program. A lot of people just say coupons, the discounts we're putting out there, that's just the cost of doing business, so we're going to do it, but they don't really track it back to the program as a whole. And included in that is vendor costs and free shipping. Free shipping can be difficult because it can vary depending on package sizes and whatnot, but you should have some sort of a percentage, an average percent for if you've got an average order value, you say, okay, then this percentage of that goes toward our free shipping promotion. So you should consider every little thing that goes into it. So when you break it down, there are different things to look at. Again, there may be costs above and beyond this, but in our experience, this is what we've found. The commissions can and should be dynamic. So you may have a base of 10% commission you pay out to your affiliates, but you're going to have certain affiliates that you're going to want to pay 12 to, some that you may want to pay 6 to because they're a lower value affiliate and a lower value customer that's coming your way. Network fees, many programs are on multiple networks, and so you may have one network that charges a percentage of revenue and another network that charges percentage of commissions paid out. The management fees, again, if you have an in-house person, it's that person's salary. If you are going with an outsourced solution, there are methods that people charge. Typically, it's a flat retainer, or it's a percentage of the overall affiliate sales, or it's some sort of hybrid. And then the coupons or discounts. Again, you need to be dynamic in this. You need to look at coupon sites and say, okay, who are the high-value coupon sites versus the low-value coupon sites? Because there are some coupon sites that all they're wanting to do is somehow get a cookie in that click stream. They're not really providing a lot of value. They're just kind of what many people refer to as bottom feeders. Then there are those that have millions of uniquely visitors each month. People go to that site first and then search on that site for your coupon. You're probably going to be willing to pay them a little bit higher, or you're going to give them a little bit higher discount, be able to work with them to get some added promotions and that sort of thing. And again, the free shipping, I'd mentioned that's kind of harder to track, but if you're giving free shipping, which is so common nowadays, you really need to consider that as a cost against that product. And then vendor costs, again, I mentioned competitive intelligence tools or any sort of other vendors you may be using. So to oversimplify here, we look at what we consider a gross profit. That's the profit before any of the other overhead costs. And we say, okay, if you're making $250,000 a month through this affiliate program, and then all of those line items that I mentioned before total up to 50 grand, your gross profit is 200K. And then we've coined this term channel payout percentage. And again, one of the reasons we did that is because we like to put that up against the other channels and say, okay, what percentage are we paying out per sale on this channel or this channel versus all of the other channels? And what we do, and I would recommend that anyone do this, is we have a stacked revenue chart year over year that we'll take a look at it and say, okay, we have dealers again, it's a set payout. We're wholesaling our goods to them. They're at 45%, and again, they own the customer data and all of that. But these other ones become a little bit more dynamic, and you can see that growth there, but you want to look at it and say, okay, where is the most profitable channel for us? And if you recognize that there's one channel that's more profitable than the other, then you're going to be able to put more resources behind it. And this needs to become a part of your overall marketing strategy. Now, a closer look at dynamic payouts. This is something that affiliate managers do typically to segment the types of affiliates they're working with. You can see on this left-hand column here that there are search affiliates, loyalty, coupon, and content affiliates. Of course, there are more varied affiliates that are out there, but this is one way of segmenting them. And based on what type of affiliate they are, they may have a standard rate that you provide them as far as the commission is concerned. And again, depending on the value they're bringing, some of them within that category may deserve a higher commission than others. And then in that discount column, that one there has the discount at 10% across the board. But as I mentioned earlier, you may have some of them that you want to offer a little bit lower or even a little bit higher discount too. You may have somebody that, because of the quality of site that they are, you say, okay, we're going to give you an exclusive 12% or 15% discount. But then in turn for that, a lot of times what will happen is you'll be able to negotiate and say, yes, we can give you a higher discount, but if we do that, we're going to have to take your commission down, because you need to aggregate those two columns there to get a comprehensive payout for the affiliate. And so if you look at the bottom, that's a combination of the two different columns, on average at about a 15.33% percentage on the payout for the affiliate program. Now, you do want to make sure that you understand what each of those people are bringing to the table. And I always tell clients that you need to come up with an acceptable range and say, okay, if we were making this much on each sale, or we had to pay out 15% on each sale, or 15 to 20%, would you do that and scale it as much as possible and be happy with that? And inevitably, everybody says, yes, we would love to do that. If we could get this to where we have this, you add the network fees, the management fees, everything, and we get it in that 25% range, we would scale it through the roof. It's interesting because we hear people say that, and I've actually had an experience just a few months ago. We had a client that peaked because of the Ebola scare. Their sales went through the roof, and they did over $1 million in sales in 1 month. And we happened to have a performance incentive tied to the program, and so that was an awfully large check. And it was a new CEO, and he kind of said, congratulations on that big check. And you could tell he was kind of begrudging the payment. And so I talked to him and I said, I talked to your predecessor, and we talked about the potential for $1 million month. We were just building the program, and so it was pie in the sky at the time. And this came out of the blue. It was like totally unexpected. But he really didn't expect to be paying that kind of a payout. But they made the money. And, again, if you buy into the philosophy that, yes, we would scale this as high as we could, and we would be happy to pay if we could fall within this total payout range, then you should be happy. And like I said to start, most people in the industry are happy to share with that. But sometimes, if you're equity-backed or you have people that are really pinching their pennies, they will look at that and say, you know what? It's like begrudging a salesperson saying, hey, I know you just made this huge sale for us, and we typically give you this commission, but you just sold something for $50,000. How can I give you a check? I'm sorry, did you have a question back there? Yeah, typically, I will repeat that question. So he has asked if we've seen any trends on new versus returning customers. And the standard from what I've seen and the colleagues that I've spoken to about this is you will typically have a higher payout for new to file customers. Returning customers, obviously, you own them and you can hit them through remarketing efforts and your in-house newsletter and that sort of thing. And so a new customer is going to be more valuable. And if you have an affiliate that says, yes, I can get you new customers and this is where we're pushing our traffic, you might negotiate a little bit higher payout for them in order to get those customers. Thank you for that. So looking at it again, you need to be flexible with the commissions that you offer because it helps you maximize the sales, and then it also helps you maximize profitability. The varied commission rates are important because, again, you have different incentives that you have to consider, and then you have to understand the value of an affiliate. I was talking to a colleague last night, and he'd shared this story before, a little bit earlier in the week, but he reiterated it last night. He had an affiliate that ran a blog site, and it was actually a fan site for Ohio State football, and his team was working with him and trying to nurture the relationship and saying, look, you have huge potential with this if you do something and focus, on the ability to sell to your audience and say, congratulations, we won, now support your team and buy this product. And after they made it into the national championship, they had made some pretty good sales, and then they focused on it more and said, look, there are so many opportunities. Worked really closely with someone on his team, and after the national championship game, they all sat there and watched the sales come in, and dozens turned to dozens, more and more dozens, and then hundreds. And he told us last night that it's to date over $100,000 in sales for this affiliate that's totally new, because he'd worked with their team and been prepared for something like this. And like I mentioned my client earlier, that Ebola scare spiked demand. And so what you need to do when you're managing programs is be prepared for that. We were actually tasked with, okay, we're going to put all of this effort into advertising, and we're going to push all this traffic to our site and get the demand up. Now, what are you going to do to be able to support that? So when you're managing programs, you need to be able to be prepared for that sort of thing and nurture the relationships with affiliates and make sure that when that opportunity arises, that you're as prepared as possible to be as profitable as you can be. That's pretty much it for my time. I think I brought it down to the last couple of minutes, and so we do have a minute or two for questions. And if anyone has any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to repeat it for the video and answer it as best I can. Going once? All right, well, thank you guys for attending, and enjoy the rest of the show. These slides will be made available too, like Ashley had mentioned, they're already up on SlideShare. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.